Good morning, everybody. Excuse me. Good morning, everybody. I'm Larry Jacobs. This is Pre-K-12 Education Talk Radio, and today's October 22nd, 2024. We're going to spend the next half hour with our good friend, Dr. Howie Knoff. Howie, as you all know, is the president of Project Achieve Educational Solutions. He's based in Fort Myers, Florida. Okay, and we're going to do a show today about how to write a successful $5 million U.S. Department of Education school climate grant. He's an expert in school climate, social emotional learning. Okay, trade consults the school districts all over the country, and he's going to talk to you today about something he's doing, helping school districts get these grants. And well, I'll let him do it. So, Howie, are you there?
I am here. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, buddy. We've got about a half hour to spend together, and I want to get right into this, okay? Everybody listening to the show knows who you are, certainly. You're president of Project Achieve. You can tell people about that, but I want to get right into what is the school climate transformation grant that the Department of Education is giving, and how do you fit into this? Howie.
Well, the School Climate Transformation Grant is what I call one of the high-hit grants. And what I mean by that is it's a federal Department of Education grant where there are between 65 to 70 awards. Now, the kicker is that this grant program is only available every 5 years. So we just finished the second 5-year cycle, and we anticipate, there's no promises, okay, but we anticipate that come this spring that the Department of Education is going to basically turn this grant around. They're going to probably modernize it to the needs of today's students. So I'm sure there'll be some pandemic-related mental health issues embedded in the RFP, the grant proposal process. But they're going to turn it around and award these for another 5 years. So this is like a comet. This only comes out every 5 years.
Now he's coming.
They fund the grant for 5 years, and we're talking about $5 million. We anticipate $5 million or up to $5 million for the individual awardees. So the first generation of this grant was in 2015. And I helped over a dozen school districts write for the grant, and we got 2 of them. So then we went 5 years. The second generation was in 2019, and I helped about 18 or 20 school districts prepare and write the grant, and we received 3 of them. And when I'm partnering with the school districts, it's because they know me, and they want me to be the national thought leader. Every one of these grants has got to have a foundation of social emotional learning or positive behavioral support systems, and there needs to be a national thought leader that is guiding the implementation of the process. Yeah, and you've got to use an evidence-based process. So what happens is when we get the grant together with the districts is that I'm then on site providing the professional development, the on-site technical assistance and consultation for up to 40 days a year, so that they get the kind of the intimate look at how do you implement these different aspects of a social emotional learning program, but it's hands-on, so that we're able to really systematically do the implementation over 5 years, and it's multi-tiered. So it's not just, for all of the kids. It's also for the kids that are presenting the most challenging social, emotional, and behavioral types of situations.
Can the school district you've worked with reapply, or is it always for a new school district to come on and try it?
Well, that varies from grant to grant, but with this school climate transformation grant, the history has been that they want new applicants. So what's going to be interesting this time, now the third generation or the third cycle, is if they'll let people who were awarded in the first cycle reapply because they've skipped a cycle, but that remains to be seen.
So what happens next? So what happens? What do you do? What are they expecting?
Well, I mean, we're expecting the grant RFP, the request for proposals, to come out in the spring. But the importance and the reason why I'm talking to you today is because you just can't rip off a federal grant. The grant writing process, it is
rip
very...
off meaning write one. Yeah, write one. Yeah.
Well, to write one, not steal one. No, you can't. You're not going to be able to write one of these on CPT chat. Okay, but it's a very the grant is very multi-layered. You usually get the RFP, and you've only got 3 weeks to write the grant. The point is that districts need to be thinking about this now. They need to be preparing for it. Yeah, because you've got to show the local need through data. You've got to present data in the narrative of the grant proposal to show a compelling need for why the grant should be funded.
So basically, if you don't have an expert doing this is always the problem with grant writing. If you don't know what you're doing at the very beginning, you're probably not going to get it. And Howie, you brought up something I wasn't even going to ask. But is AI geared to do something like this? I don't think so, the way you said that. You got to have too much data from local.
No, because when you read the grant proposal, it's got 3 different levels to it. And if you read it literally, there are 3 different kind of sections that say, all right, this is what we want you to do, this is what we want you to do. And there's just this laundry list of what the Department of Education wants in a grant proposal. But the bottom line is, and this is one of the tricks of the trade in writing these grants, is you've got to write for the points. Okay, it's like, show me the money, you got to show me the points. Because ultimately, the Department of Education contracts with independent reviewers. They bring reviewers that have expertise. Yeah, they bring reviewers that have expertise in social emotional learning and how to do the research to practice, kind of demonstrate that this is going to work. So they have 3 reviewers read every grant proposal, and there are points. But so you have to do in all the layers of the request for proposal, you've got to focus on the points, and you've got to write the grant section by section for the specific number of points and what the points are going to be accrued to in order for the reviewers to award the points. So it's not like writing a novel. It's counterintuitive, in fact. I'm serious. I mean, it's counterintuitive. You've got typically 5 sections of the grant, and you've got to write each section independently toward the points that are going to be awarded for that section. So
I have to ask this, Howie, because I've never written a grant. Are the points, are they a number system that you're accruing, that they're going to say, this is worth 11 points? The max is 25, and this one is good. It's worth 11 or something. Is that the way it works?
Exactly.
And everybody who gets to 83, whatever the number is now eligible. Is that the way it works?
That's kind of the way they do it. The way they do it is, for example, the last school climate transformation grant, you could get up to 110 points. Okay, so there were the main priorities of the grant, and then they gave bonus points for doing additional things in the grant. So it was 100 points for the grant, and then if you wrote in the additional things, you could get another 10 points. Okay, so each of the 3 reviewers does their independent up to 110 points, and then they total or average the points. Then they look at the money that is being proposed in each of the grants, how much money Congress has allocated to the program, and then they go rank order and go down the list and find the cut score. So again, 5 years ago, there were, I think, 68 of these were awarded. And again, not everyone was writing for $5 million, but the range was between $3 to $5 million. So it is. It's on a point system. Yes.
And who sets up the criteria? Experts in the field, the Department of Education? I mean, I hate to say it. It's almost like a final in a college. Okay? They ask you the questions and fill it in, and we'll give you points. see if you pass.
Yeah. I mean, certainly the Department of Education staff and whoever is, the head of the Department of Education, the secretary. But, I mean, it's more the staffers who are doing this. They're kind of filtering out and listening to, what's going on in the field, and they will periodically do focus groups or strategic planning with experts in the field. But ultimately, the people at the Department of Education make the decisions. Certainly, they've got to, go to Congress and get the approval from Congress. They have to go to the Office of Budget and Management and get the approval. But, it's kind of a conglomeration. But, I mean, the bottom line is the staff folk at the Department of Education are responsible for the program. And then after you get the grant, every grantee, every district or combination of districts or BOCES or area education agencies that get the grant, there is a person from the U.S. Department of Education who is their project officer who kind of oversees the process. So there are checks and balances in the whole process. But, I mean, ultimately what they're trying to do, especially with this grant, this is one of the largest number of grants awarded. I mean, 65 to 70 grants out of the Department of Education. You don't find many programs that do this in terms of discretionary grants. And they're trying to obviously distribute these within reason across the United States, but they also have to go by the points, so it's a balance. But they want to see, school districts get a sufficient amount of money to do value-added work, and that's a critical point. They're doing value-added work to try to go to the next level of excellence. And the point that I'm making is that you can't use the grant to fund something that already exists within your district or schools. Okay, so you can't supplant, and this is the language. You can't supplant. You've got to supplement. So this is a value-added grant.
And how do you, Howie? Let me ask this: how do you fit in? As we're talking here, and I mean, Project Achieve. They can get projectachieve.info. Okay, and you can certainly, I got it linked here. But my point is, do you want school to, and I know you're talking in generally, everybody can do this, but if they want to use your services, okay, do you want to do this district by district? Is that what we're talking? Do you work district by district, or is there a group thing? How do you fit into this? Let me ask that simple question, because you know what you're doing. Okay, go ahead.
So there's two ways that I kind of fit into this. All right. The first way is I want school districts to know about the grant, and I want them to be able to prepare for the grant. So one of the things that I'm doing, starting the first week of November, and it's going to be on 5 Fridays in November and December, I'm going to provide a virtual series to school districts or to anyone. I mean, an individual could sign up for it. A school district could sign up for it. An agency, if they wanted, could sign up for it. But I'm going to do a 5-session kind of series on how to write this grant. So if people are interested in that, they can go on my website. They can go to projectachieve.info.
Right,
and on the home page, they pull down the store menu, and at the very bottom of the store menu is an entry called Online On Demand. It's called Online On Demand Courses. So if they click on the Online On Demand Courses, they can sign up for this 5-session series, and it's going to be 90 minutes each week. And I'm going to walk them through the grant writing process, specifically focused on the School Climate Transformation Grant.
And that's important. I knew you're going to do this specifically for that grant, which is very important. But just writing a grant is hard enough. You can take what you're going to learn here and carry it further. Yeah, I mean, it's that simple. I talked to my wife used to work for a nonprofit. She was not a grant writer. Okay, but they used grant writers. So, it's a whole profession. Everybody knows this. Okay, this is not something that's that easy to do. Okay, and I'm talking to a group of fairly intelligent people. All educators. Okay, that's what we're talking here. And I'm telling you, this is hard to do. All right. And to get it right and to make it work, you need an expert behind you. So I hope people take advantage of what Howie's offering here. Okay. This is just cool to learn how to do this. I mean, it's the 5 sessions, 90 minutes. 5 sessions, 90 minutes each. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
5 sessions.
Yeah.
And that's to learn how to write a grant which you can use anywhere, but specifically for this. That's a lot, man. That's cool. That's how hard it is to do.
Well, I mean, the Department of Education discretionary grants all have pretty much the same format, So anyone, if they were to take this series and join me, they're going to learn basically the format of kind of the universal format of the grants.
Yeah, exactly.
But we're going to apply it specifically to the school climate grant. But the second way is, one of the things that I've done, and I kind of have alluded to it, is relative to this grant and other grants. I just help a number of districts write the mental health grant that actually was just announced a couple of days ago. But for the people out in the audience who know my work or want to kind of investigate and research my work.
They should learn it if they don't.
Well, yeah, hopefully that would be nice.
Good at it.
But
you're good at it.
If people are interested in my work, then what will happen is when the grant is announced in the spring, I will, sit and talk with a number of different districts that want to work with me. And what I will do is I will write the school climate grant for them in a partnership. So I usually write about 85% of the grant. Each individual district writes their individual needs, the data, and so on. They submit the grant, but it's an opportunity for people who want to do work with me and partner with me to hopefully get a grant that funds all of the work that I do and all of the resources that I bring to the table. So, I mean, the last 6 grants that we've received over the last 10 years, we taught everyone in the school district how to teach the stop and think social skills. The money was in the grant to purchase all those materials. We have online courses that people who are affiliated with me in the grants and partnering with me, they get access to all of my online courses. So again, I mean, it's a win-win, and obviously people are not interested in using me, then, that's fine. They can take the series, learn how to write the grant. In the spring, they can write the grant on their own and get their own national expert. But here's an opportunity, 2 ways that I can add value to some of the things that districts are doing in the social emotional learning and positive behavioral support area.
You do add value, Howie, I got to tell you. Okay, this is good stuff. I'm going to cut the show a little bit, okay, because I'm getting a high sign from my wife that she needs me up front there. So let's just say we're going to leave it at this, but it's projectachieve.info. It's all linked here, and just follow up. We've really covered everything, so this is just great. Okay, Howie, are we good?
That sounds good.
Okay, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you, and I'm glad down in Fort Myers you were fine with the hurricane.
Yes, we're good. And you take care and the best to your wife.
Thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right,
bye.
Take care. Bye.
Howie Knoff, everybody. Check it out. How to write a successful $5 billion U.S. Department of Education school climate grant. Learn about it. Go for it. And use Howie. He's terrific. I'm Larry Jacobs. Thanks for listening.